How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another live stream on the channel. We're going to be talking about my highest conviction plays today, giving you a little bit of an update on them and my order of preference. We're also going to talk about this move that is happening on the Bitcoin chart right now. We are approaching 108K. It's a really key level. If you look at the weekly closes on Bitcoin, 109, 108K, if we can close above that, it's exceptionally bullish. But what we had was two candles here, which both kind of failed to get above the all-time highs. If we can get a close above Bitcoin's all-time highs on the weekly, which is around 109.4, that would be insanely bullish, and it would more or less guarantee a move above this 112K, and the next level would be around this trend line. So that's what I'm expecting here, is that the next level we find resistance at is probably around this trend line, whether it will be 117, 118, whatever it is. That's the next level I'm targeting on Bitcoin. If we can close above 108, 109K, somewhere in that region, that would be the next level I'd be targeting. And then after that, I mean, it's exceptionally bullish after that. The next level would be 131K. 130, 131 would be the 1.618 fib level. It's possible we even go as high as that, right? But I would be definitely taking some profits before that, because you never know in crypto, right? This can be a very, very volatile market. 1 minute, everyone thinks the bull run's back on, you're going to get rich, and then you get a bit of a surprise. But some big things are happening in London right now. You've got US and China trade talks going on, so we want to keep an eye on that. Because, it's pretty big for markets. The whole reason we had this massive down movement was because of trade. And obviously we're heading up also because of trade kind of negotiations and things like that. More amicable, less volatile, and it's obviously good for markets. So that's what I'm watching in the markets right now. Also, I'm noticing Potenza Tau is getting a bit of a nice move up here, about 8% up on the day. The Tau project is definitely heading in the right direction. I'm really bullish on this. And yeah, I think Tau is one of the best projects in the market right now. Also, Aerodrome is one which I think is definitely moving up my order of preference. I'm watching a lot of activity going on Base right now, particularly when it comes to AI plays, AI agents, those types of projects. A lot of trading volume is occurring on Base. So all of that trading volume, or a lot of it, is going to go through Aerodrome if you're using a DEX. And for that reason, I'm extremely, extremely bullish on the token. I think it can easily get above its all-time highs on the next leg up and potentially pull some sort of 5 to 15x in price from the current prices right now. So that's a really, really good ROI. So we're going to get into the comments, but before we do, I want to give you a quick reminder about what's going on with the mentor tier. We have major updates coming to the mentor tier. The mentor tier is getting a whole lot better. We're having organized mentor meetings every few weeks. I'm going to pre-plan a meeting. I'm going to go over a topic in depth, plan it, deliver kind of like a speech to you guys, and then go over some questions. So I strongly recommend, if you can afford it, you opt for the mentor tier rather than the VIP, because this is just going to be next level. We're going to be talking about kind of exit strategy in depth. We already did a meeting actually on exit strategy. The next one we're going to be doing on TA. So if you're a guy who feels like you need to brush up a bit on your TA skills, join this tier. And the next meeting in a couple of weeks, we're going to be going over TA. Okay, and Cryptex is going to be there. He's going to be going over loads of the different tools he uses to navigate the market when it comes to trading and technical analysis. Whether you're a long-term investor or a trader, this is going to be very, very helpful to you. Okay, and it's not just TA. We talk about all sorts of stuff, including crypto, but also not including crypto. We'll talk about things related to cash flow, businesses. There's a lot of 7- and 8-figure guys in this group. So we talk about more than just crypto, right? It's about becoming wealthy rather than just simply rich. So, yeah, man, I'm watching this move on the markets here. Bitcoin heading up, heading for 108K, 109K. That's the next level. If we can get above that, then it more or less guarantees all-time highs if we can get a weekly close above that level, right? Weekly closes are really, really important with Bitcoin. Weekly closes are something I monitor all the time. You can see we had basically 2 weekly close rejections here, and that's what brought us down to 99K. So we could close above that. It is game on, and I mean that. But altcoins are still not really moving too much. I got to be honest. Like, some of my altcoins are, but a lot of the market isn't. I got to be quite honest. Casper's not moving right now. Say is very quiet, but there are a few projects which are making moves, and Virtuals and Tau are 2 of them. I've got a video coming out on AI probably later today or tomorrow, and I discuss both of these projects. So, I mean, Virtuals just looks amazing, man. I'm so glad I was stacking that in the 50 cent region. VIPs are up almost 4x on their money on Virtuals. We'll go through the comments now, but smash the likes on the stream as you're just tuning in. It does help out a ton with the channel, so please do hit the likes. It's just one click of a button, and it helps out a ton. So, hi, Archie. We will repeat the 2017 cycle. I think we will get some form of an alt season personally, but I don't think we're getting a complete and utter repeat of what happened in 2017, guys. You got to realize in 2017, there was way less tokens. So it was a completely different environment. And crypto was brand new. And these coins had really small market caps. So 2017 is completely different to 2021. And 2021 is completely different to 2025. We kind of need to stop expecting the same things from the past. Crypto's a lot bigger now. It's a lot more mature. Institutions have gotten involved. And, I just think it's a little bit naive to just assume that we're going to have the same kind of a bull run as what we had in 2017, right? I don't think we're going to get that level of a bull run, but it's still going to be great. In 2017, you could put your money in anything and you probably 20, 40, 50, 60 extra money. Some people even just put their money into random things and 100x their money. This cycle is going to be a bit different because crypto is a lot more mature. So yeah, that's kind of my thoughts. I think we have an alt season. It's going to be a good one, but it's not going to be on the level of 2017, where you just throw your coin at anything and you make a freaking 50x. It's not going to be that easy. And that's where a group like mine will come in handy, right? Because some people will make big money, but it's not going to be the base case. It's going to be a small minority at the top who have all the alpha and who are sitting in these calls 24/7 talking about the markets. Those are going to be the people who win. The majority of people aren't going to make the best gains, in my opinion. They're just going to make maybe a 2x, a 3x. Some will even lose money, right? A good chunk of people will lose money. But if you know what you're doing, then yeah, you're gonna make a ton of money. James says, just upgraded to the mentor tier. Looking forward to your next meeting and learning from you and Cryptex. Thank you, man. Welcome to the mentor tier. It's going to be very valuable. Those calls are going to really help out. They're more like a meeting, to be honest, than a call. They're very formal, pre-planned. And yeah, the members have already given great feedback on them. So I'm really looking forward to the next one, which is going to be on technical analysis, I believe. So I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be great. And the other benefit of the mentor tier is you can actually add me as a friend, so you can direct message me. There's probably 500 people on the VIP, so I can't have them all as a friend, whereas the mentor tier is much more tight-knit. How's everyone doing? Welcome to the stream, guys. Smash the likes on your way in. I highly recommend everyone joins the VIP. I've been printing more than ever and the best community, hands down. Wow, thank you, man. I see you in the chats in the VIP. I see you printing on those AI agents as well. Cash Jong-un. So great to have you, man. And thanks for the kind words. And if you are getting a ton of value from the VIP, do go and drop a 5-star review. It does help out a ton. But yeah, great to see you printing. This guy, Cash Jong-un, he's got the funniest name, first of all, but this guy has been printing 5, 10, 15K. I'm pretty sure this guy's been making every week consistently. So you're paying off the bundle, you're paying off a new car, you're paying off maybe even a new house soon. This guy's going to be paying off. Archie, should I convert some of my Casper to Arrow? Casper allocation is 40% with a buy average of 9 cents. Thank you. I wouldn't just sell it for Arrow. I'd sell it for multiple coins. I think 40% in Casper is a bit overweight. I've got to be honest with you. My Casper percentage is around 12%, and I think that's a great amount to have. When you start talking 40%, 50%, 60%, that's when I think you're overweight. So if I was you, and I'm not you, so you do you, but if I was you, I would sell a chunk of that, bring it more down to like 20%, 15%, a more manageable, more sensible amount. And then I would diversify into a bunch of other layer ones, such as Sui and such as Say. That's what I would do. And Arrow as well, but that's not a layer one. Finally, catching a live. What are your thoughts on Hyper? On Hyperlquid? Wait, why is this not working? My keyboard's broken. What's going on? Let me see what's going on with this keyboard. It seems to not want to work for some reason, which is very annoying. Let's see if it works. There we go. Do you mean Hyperlquid, or is there a separate coin called Hyper? I'm assuming you mean Hyperlquid. Honestly, I expect it to continue growing. If we pull up the chart, it's got a really solid chart, Hyperlquid. It's kind of moving like the next Sui, I've got to be honest. But I'm a big fan of the chart. The chart looks really solid. It's just surpassed its all-time high, so it's kind of officially in price discovery mode. Let me just see if we got a bigger chart than this one. Yeah, man, Hyperlquid is looking solid. It really is. I like the structure on the chart. I like what it's doing. I'm just trying to see which exchange here is the best one to use. BitGet. Let's see. I want to do a little bit of TA on this one. Okay, so let's just put on the fibs that we can see. It's kind of just broken out. It's had a bit of a breakout. And it seems like the next level it's going to hit is around the $50 region. So I don't think you're going to get a major retracement on this until it hits at least $50. It could even go to 77. So those are kind of your levels to look at. If you're in Hyperlquid, you could just kind of DCA out along the way. But I think this thing does still have a few X's potentially left in the tank. I probably expect around $100 for Hyperlquid this bull run. Maybe higher. We'll have to wait and see. As Jerome Powell would say. The famous Jerome Powell remark. But yeah, man. Hyperlquid solid. Hyperlquid, Sui, those are kind of like the chosen plays of this cycle. Hey Archie, now that KRC20s have Zealous Swap, do you think KRC20s can do well this year? I don't think that's really going to make a difference in terms of them making it or breaking it. Make or break. I don't think that's like a make or break thing for KRC20s. What really will benefit KRC20s is Casper price appreciation, and we haven't seen that for a while. So Casper really needs to improve its marketing, get some tier ones, get the word around, get smart contracts, and I'd expect the price to easily surpass like 20 cents, go to 30, 50, maybe 70 cents ideally. If you got a 30, 50, or 70 cent Casper, you're going to see big appreciation on the beta plays. But no one's going to buy beta plays when the actual alpha thing isn't moving in the first place, right? There's no point buying loads of beta plays to something that's just lagging behind. And that's probably why KRC20s aren't doing too well right now. But once Casper actually gets its act together and starts moving, which I believe it will at some point, that's when the KRC20s will move. And if you want my favorite KRC20, it's a very risky one. I always tell you this, but it would be Caspi. I'm literally at break even on Caspi, so I'm not in profit. I'm not in a loss. But yeah, it's a great buy. This thing shot up to 20 cents, or not 20 cents, but whatever, however many zeros, 2-0. It's now all the way back down to 1-0. So it's just a 2x to where it was a few weeks ago. So I think Caspi is a no-brainer. You just throw in $100, whatever it is, you know, whatever you can afford to lose, get a small position, and ride it up with Casper. Yeah, man, the VIP's been on fire the last few days. I've been loving it. It's a great place. And I'm glad you put as always in brackets, because we're always ahead of the rest of the crowd, man. Always. From buying virtuals really cheap, buying Sui way below $1. We're always ahead of the rest of the crowd. Do you think Bitcoin dominance has topped? And if so, when do you expect it to really tank? Yeah, I do think it's topped. I do think it's topped. If we look at Bitcoin dominance, let's see where we're at. I mean, it's heading back up a little bit here. It's not too nice to see. I got to be honest. Man, this is just frustrating. Can this thing bleed out already? Bitcoin dominance doesn't want to drop. Can this thing just start going down already? Because it's literally been heading up for a long, long time. I personally think it's topped. If we get an announcement of QT ending, I think that would be really good for Bitcoin dominance. It would probably bring risk back into the market. But Bitcoin dominance being high still indicates that we're in a risk-off environment currently. We're still kind of in a risk-off environment, and it's still a Bitcoin season, whether you like it or not. But I do think, I personally lean to the idea that it's top, but we're very close to it not have topping, right? And it going higher. So it's really kind of 50-50 at this point. But if it does start making new highs, the idea of a parabolic alt season is probably a questionable one, right? So ideally, it starts to dump sooner rather than later. But considering that it's just got above 786, maybe we get like a double top on Bitcoin dominance. That's a possibility. Like it rides up a bit here, then it starts coming back down. But it is frustrating, man. Bitcoin dominance has just been going up for a very, very, very long time. And until this thing starts bleeding out, we're not going to have a parabolic alt season. I do believe we will get a good alt season. But I don't see Bitcoin dominance going much lower than 50 to 55%, to be honest. 55% is like my base case. That's what I expect it to drop to. But even that, if you're looking at it from here, even that is quite a big drop. But the thing is, once Bitcoin dominance drops, it drops really hard because altcoins are known for doing like all of their gains basically in like a 1 or 2 week period of the whole year. That's what altcoins do. They can go down 95% of the year, but that 5% of the year that they go up crazy and make up for all the losses. Thoughts on Peak? Thinking of ditching it for something with a bit more traction here. Same for IO. I'm holding both. I think both will do fine. I'm not concerned. I mean, the charts don't look great, but I'm just going to keep holding them, man. But those should only be small allocations of your portfolio. Bundle is the way to go if you can afford it, or use some of the profits to make more profit. Absolutely, man. That's the way you've got to see it, right? You're spending some of your money. It's going to push you back a little bit for much bigger gains in the future. So the one thing I'd say about the bundle, it's not for everyone. If you have got a portfolio that's like sub 10K, sub 20K, I will probably turn you down for the bundle. I've had guys DM me before and said, hey, Archie, I want to join the bundle, but I've only got 10K. I said to them, no, don't join. I literally turned down $3,999. I turned it down multiple times from people who said they wanted to join, but I told them no, because it wasn't in their interests, right? So the bundle for me is ideally for people with 30K portfolios or higher. And then that way it actually makes sense. Just see it as a very small tax you've got to pay, a very small fee for way bigger returns potentially. Because you're going to be on a one-to-one call with myself. You're going to be on basically bi-weekly meetings with the group, which are very organized presentations and discussions. You get a full course, teaches you everything you need to know about crypto, how to take, how to set up a good portfolio, exit strategy, TA. Man, it's incredible. And you get lifetime mentorship. So for life, you're going to be in the group. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 years down the line, I'm still doing this. You're still going to have access in 2050 if I'm still doing this, right? I mean, who knows what we'll have in 2050, but look, I'm 21 years old. There's a good chance I'm still doing this in a long time. So it's a no-brainer, man. It's a no-brainer. When you learn from someone who's made it in crypto and have a personal mentor, you just fast track your way to success. It's not a guarantee that you'll be successful, but it's certainly much more likely than someone who doesn't do that. Yeah, 2017 and 2021, those are things from the past. They were retail-dominated cycles. This is going to be an institutional cycle. So it's a completely different ballgame now. Institutions are involved. Institutions don't like stupid volatility. They prefer more tamed cycles, right? Institutions like it where it kind of does this. Watch. Goes up, then goes sideways for ages, then goes up, then goes sideways for ages, then goes up. That's the type of market institutions like. That's what gold does, basically. That's what gold does. Goes up for like a few months to a year, then has years of consolidation, then goes up loads, then years of consolidation, then goes up loads. That's what they like. The institutions prefer this. They prefer this type of chart to this. Watch. the institutions, they prefer this type of chart to the pump and dump type of cycle which we're used to in crypto, right? That's what people need to understand. This is an institutional dominated cycle, an institution dominated cycle. This is not a cycle that's dominated by retail. I mean, yes, when you look at memes and stuff like that, retail do have a lot of pricing power. But when it comes to the big projects, institutions are just dominating, man. ETFs, VCs, all these groups, they run the market. BlackRock. And it never used to be like that because they never used to have any power in crypto, but now they do. Love the chat calls and Archie available to direct message. Absolutely, Joey. Always here to help. If you're on the bundle, drop me a message anytime and you'll get my help. Archie, bundle member here. What are your thoughts on Ark Block? It's not my favorite project, I've got to be honest with you. It had a lot of price manipulation in the past by influencers. There was a lot of influencer manipulation that caused it to pump this much. Besides that, it's a very old coin that, in my view, hasn't got a lot going for it. There's nothing really that stands out to me with this project. I've done my research on it. It's nothing special. I don't think it deserves a very high valuation. I think it's probably fairly valued where it is now. So obviously, if a bunch of influencers, if a cabal of influencers get together and say they want to pump a coin up, obviously there's going to be a high chance that the coin pumps, but it doesn't mean the coin is good if it does that, right? You got to differentiate the two. So I'm not a big fan of this. It was massively pumped by influencers, and be very careful if you're listening to influencers shilling this all the time. You probably want to unsubscribe. But appreciate you being on the bundle, man. Looking forward to chatting with you more about the projects you hold and what your strategy is this cycle to make a ton of money. Yeah, man. Giza absolutely killed it from your call, bro, in the Discord. That's what people need to understand, man, is like in these Discord chats, big money is being made. Millions of dollars are being made in these Discord chats. Like some guys are making 10, 20, 30K a month just from sitting in here and buying some of the calls. 10, 20, 30K a month just from buying some of the calls. I'm not saying everyone's doing that, but there's a good bunch of people. They join the voice calls every day. They listen to the calls in the chat. And some of these calls have been absolutely wonderful, man. Some of these calls. So this group is active all the time. I just came off the voice chat earlier. There was like 30, 40 people in the voice chat talking about the markets, researching some low caps. People are printing in there. And the bull run hasn't even really begun for altcoins. So imagine what's going to happen when the altcoin bull run really takes place. Hello, Archie. Up 8x with Pepe, and I haven't took profit. Should I sell some? To which coin should I convert it? Yeah, if I'm up 8x on a meme, I'm probably going to sell some. You don't need to sell it all, but you could definitely take some off the table and maybe look at allocating into some of these plays. I don't know if you have any of them, but one of the most obvious buys to me in the market right now would be Aerodrome. This is one I would be putting some focus and attention to. Anywhere around the 50-cent region for Arrow is an absolute steal of a buy. Absolute steal of a buy. When I say 120K Bitcoin take profit, you mean Bitcoin or alts? I mean both. If the top is 120K, how can we do a 10x? By dominance dropping. This is what people don't understand. All it takes is for dominance to drop heavily in a couple of weeks, and that is where you make the money. Okay, it's not about what Bitcoin hits. It's about what dominance does. This is what it's about. If you have a 150K Bitcoin with no decline on dominance, you're not going to make a ton of money. If you have a 125K Bitcoin with a big decline on dominance, you're going to make a ton of money. If Bitcoin dominance just started capitulating now all the way down to the low 50s, you are going to get rich. You're going to make a ton of money. It doesn't matter what you're holding, probably. If you're holding Casper, Sui, Tau, Render, Arrow, Say, Virtuals, those types of projects, if Bitcoin dominance came down to the 50s, you will make a lot of money. It doesn't matter if Bitcoin goes to 150K, 120K, or even if it only goes to 115 and it just dropped bang down now in the next couple of weeks. That is all that's required to make a 3 to a 10x on your portfolio. Now, you might not make a 10x on every coin. You're probably not going to make a 10x on Sui. Okay, let's just get that out of the way. You're probably not going to make a 10x on Casper. But when you start going down the market cap level and you start looking at projects like Say, Arrow, Peak, Virtuals, the VIP gems, that is where you could potentially make a 10x or more. So it's really all about dominance rather than necessarily the exact Bitcoin price. If Bitcoin goes to 150 and dominance just keeps on doing this the whole time, you're barely going to make money, guys. That's what you need to realize. You might make a 2x, you might make a 3x, but if Bitcoin goes to 150 and dominance just keeps on increasing, there's no alt season. Alternatively, if Bitcoin goes to 120 and dominance does this to 125, that is where the money's to be made. Okay, so that's what people need to understand. It's less so about the exact Bitcoin price that it hits. It's more about how much of a drawdown in dominance do we get, and that will determine whether we make money or not. Yeah, don't miss the next buy alerts. I've already dropped a few new buy alerts in the last couple of weeks for the VIPs. So I'm looking forward to seeing how they do. Pretty bullish on them. One of them was a micro cap, and one of them was a blue chip. And one of them was a blue chip meme as well. So I've been buying a certain meme. I'm probably not done buying it, but there's a meme that's in the kind of top 20 memes that I've been stacking. I think it's a great time to buy it. Yeah, man, Gizla's been printing. Don't know how much it went up, but 6x in a few days, Brian got in the VIP, man, in the Discord. Crazy. Crazy. Say, I'm still bullish on Say. Yeah, the price action's boring. Yeah, it's not doing much, but I'm still bullish. What you got to bear in mind, we haven't seen that drawdown in dominance yet. So a lot of these coins are going to remain stagnant until we get risk coming back to the market. Until we get that risk on move in the market, and total 3 kind of pumps to new highs. Until we get that, it's still going to be quite a stagnant market for a lot of alts. So that's where I stand, right? I'm bullish on Say. I think it's a solid project. It's a layer 1 with a focus on DeFi. It's well backed. Trump owns it. I'm bullish on the project. And in fact, is that in a perfect golden pocket there? Yeah, it is in a great... Let me just double check. Let me just do this again. Just to double check, guys. Let's just double check. So go from here to here. Wow. Perfect buy. Absolutely perfect buy there on Say right now. Okay, so if I was going to buy a project today, there's 2 projects I'd buy. And I know I said this on the last stream, but if I had, let's just say you got $1,000, right? You just got paid. You got $1,000 in your bank. You want to deploy it into crypto. There's 2 projects right now I would stack. The first one I put $500 into would be Say. I put 500 in that right now. The other one would be Aerodrome. Both of those are ready to send to the upside. Great buy on Say at 19 cents. Perfect golden pocket. And if you don't know what the golden pocket is, just very quickly, it's a fib level, which quite often when you have a drawdown to it, you see a massive move up. So quite often this is a level of support that projects find. If it fails the golden pocket, the next level would be 16 cents. But I think there's a good chance, especially with the way the market's looking, that this is an area of support that Say finds, and then it starts pumping to the upside again. So, but get in Say before the train leaves the station. That's all I'm going to say. Not financial advice. And man, I've been putting my money where my mouth is. I've been DCAing on Say the last few weeks, lowering my average down below 20 cents. Still not there yet. My average is still a little bit higher than where we're trading right now. My average is still probably the mid-20s. But I'm trying to lower it as much as I can. And I'm sure the next move, we're going to go way above my average, and I'm going to be in massive profits. So I'm not too concerned, right? The vast majority of my projects here I'm in profits on, but there's 1 or 2 where I'm maybe in like a 10% loss or just at break even, but it doesn't worry me. You know, some people, they get worried if they're in a slight loss on a project, but if you believe in the project, if you know it's going to do well, you know it's well backed, you know it's a good project, you know it's got a good team, you shouldn't be concerned, right? So I don't know why people sometimes freak out with projects just because they're in a small loss. It's probably because they don't have conviction. It's probably because they didn't research the project. I find that if people actually research the project and they know what they're putting their money in, they don't worry about dips. They just sit back, relax, let it happen, and then they sell when the coin pumps. Yeah, I'm bullish on the whole stablecoin narrative, bro. I think it's going to do very well. I'm just bullish on DeFi, I've got to be honest. I think DeFi is going to have a major move up. That's all the elites talk about. These guys, Larry Fink, the guys at BlackRock, the guys at, you know, all these major banks, JP Morgan, even Trump and his son and all these guys, they all love the stablecoin narrative. First of all, because it's good for the dollar. Second of all, they like DeFi. Trump's own family have been debanked. All they talk about is that, right? They talk about DeFi and how the financial system is kind of obsolete, antiquated, and all of that. So I am very bullish on DeFi. So stack your DeFi coins. My favorite coins in DeFi would probably be Ondo. I know it's like an RWA one, but it does kind of tie into DeFi as well because of that US dollar yield they have. Say is also DeFi. It's kind of speeding up DeFi, like speeding up order books, trades, transactions, things like that. What else have we got for DeFi? Let's see. Aerodrome is the obvious one. DeFi on base. DEX on base, liquidity providing, all that stuff goes through Arrow. And yeah, man, I'm just really bullish on that narrative. I think it'll do well. Yeah, I like the whole boys club narrative, and out of that narrative, the clear winners are obviously Pepe and Brett. So if you're gonna buy memes, those are two of the good ones to buy. I like Pepe, I like Brett, and I like Fartcoin as well. Those are all kind of the best meme coins for this cycle. Those are the clear winner meme coins. I put 3K in Arrow and 2K in Say. Congrats, man. Great buys. I think you're gonna be up a lot in a few weeks or months. You're gonna be very glad you did that. Caspi is ready to climb that candle. Yeah, Caspi, it's kind of, I think it's on support. It's on like a psychological support level that it's hit a lot. Whenever Casper starts pumping, this thing is going to send. So you might as well pack your bags now before Casper pumps and get a nice 9.4x just to all-time highs, guys. Basically a 10x to all-time highs. I mean, you can't complain with that, right? And that could happen in a few weeks. Like, all it takes is Casper to get above like 15 cents, and these types of coins will be skyrocketing. And the reason I like Caspi is because it actually has a Mexi listing, and the meme itself is a pretty good meme. So, look, it's risky, I know, but just small bag, you can't complain. But yeah, man, look, just while I'm live, people in the VIP are researching projects, scouting the markets. And if you don't know as well, in the VIP, in the Discord, you also have a chart request channel. So if you've got a project you want some TA on, you can literally just drop the project in the chat, and within 12 to 24 hours, you're going to get a response. So you can see here, someone asked about the Say chart. And Cryptex agrees with me, actually. He's saying it's a great buy. Still a pretty great buy here. There you go. Cryptex said it. Stock RSI is very oversold, and it's in a golden pocket, which is, as always, a good reversal / buy zone. So you've got the double approval there, the seal of approval. Cryptex and myself both saying that Say is a good buy here. You know that is the time to act when you see that. So make full use of this if you're a member. You're getting charts basically outlined for you within hours, man. I mean, it's a great benefit. And you get your portfolio reviewed in the portfolio channel, get some feedback on your portfolio. You can see one here. Instantly, what I'm going to say is you got a bit too many projects here, bro. 23 projects is going to be very difficult to manage. So you probably want to cut that in half, realistically. But this guy here is a bundle member, so we can get on a call and we can discuss it. But yeah, guys, we're going to wrap up the stream here. I do appreciate you all tuning in. I got a video dropping later today on AI, so make sure to watch that video. Get yourselves on the VIP, and if you can afford it, get yourselves on the bundle. I do take crypto payments for lifetime VIP and for the bundle. All the information to join is in the description. Don't miss out. Yeah, Betensa Tao's very, very solid right now. There's big guys looking at Tao. Big players. 7.5 million Tao treasury strategy. Very, very bullish. Just follow the money, man. It's a simple strategy. Follow the money. Don't be trying to play it too smart. Just follow what the big money are doing, and you'll probably win. And that's what I did with Sui. That's what I'm doing with Tao. And I think my other players are next as well. So appreciate you guys watching. Smash the likes on the stream. Let's try and aim for 300 likes by tomorrow. That would be amazing. And I'll see you guys over in the VIP. I'll probably be doing another voice chat later on today. So see you guys over there. Goodbye.